So, today we're going to be talking about mystery novels. What do you think of when you hear mystery novels? A lot of you may think of the Goosebumps stories you used to read as a kid. And while there are a lot of similarities between mystery novels and horror stories, mystery novels tend to focus on more of a puzzle with a pursuit. Oftentimes, the puzzle is a crime that has happened, and the pursuit is a way to find a solution. So I'm going to tell you about 3 different mystery novels today that you're definitely going to want to check out. The first of the 3 is called Me, the Missing, and the Dead by Jenny Valentine. It's funny when you start thinking about pivotal moments in your life like this. Chance happenings, they end up meaning everything. Sometimes when I'm deciding which route to take, say, to the cinema in Camden, I get this feeling like maybe if I choose the wrong route, bad stuff will happen to me. This sort of thinking can make decisions really, really difficult, because I'm always wondering what happens to all the choices we decide not to make. So, I guess I should introduce myself. My name's Lucas Swain. I'm nearly 16, and I live with my mom and sister in London. I've always considered myself a fairly normal person, until the night I found Violet. When that happened, everything changed. And then there's my dad. He disappeared 5 years ago. Nobody knows what happened to him, and frankly, nobody seems to care. And trust me, it's enough to drive you crazy. I've always said that it's the not knowing that drives you mad. It's the imagining things that you wish you couldn't think of all by yourself. It can just drive you crazy. But, back to Violet. That's her, over there, in the urn. So, you're probably thinking, why is he hanging out with a dead lady in an urn? It's crazy. Well, speaking of crazy, I know she's trying to tell me something, and I think it's about my dad, and maybe his disappearance. A dead lady in an urn may not be much to go on, but I know my dad's out there somewhere, and it's up to me to find out where. So, what happened to Lucas's dad? What's the connection between the dead lady, Violet, and Lucas's father, if there is one at all? If you read Me, the Missing and the Dead by Jenny Valentine, you'll find out. The next book on the list is The Body of Christopher Creed by Carol Plum. So, let's face it, you're all in high school, so it's pretty likely that you've come across someone in school that you just don't click with, someone that you find it just a little bit more difficult to get along with. Okay, so let's pretend the person's name is Christopher Creed. Let's also say you're a junior in high school, and you've known this Chris Creed kid since elementary school, and pretty much everybody, including you, has an I beat up Chris Creed story or two to tell. But now, Chris has disappeared, and there's a lot of rumors surrounding his disappearance. Some say he ran away from home, some think he committed suicide, while others think he was murdered. But everybody knows one thing to be true, and that's that he sent the principal this email only moments before he vanished. Take a listen and see what you think. It said, Dear Mr. Ames, I have a problem getting along with people. I know that people wish I were dead, and at this moment in time, I see no alternative but to accommodate them in this wish. I have a wish. Not that anybody cares, but if anybody cared over the years, it was you. Here's my wish. I wish that I had been born somebody else. Then he goes on to name some of the most popular boys, including Tori Adams. Remember that name. I don't understand why I get nothing, and these boys get everything. Athletic ability, good personalities, beautiful girlfriends. I'm sure their parents will be buying them cars next year, while I'm still riding my bicycle until my parents decide I'm old enough. Quite possibly, I'll be 25. I wish to understand life and luck and liberty, but I will never do that confined to this life. The personality defects I've been cursed with, the lack of ability, the strain, I wish no malice on anyone. I only wish to be gone. Therefore, I am. Yours respectfully, Christopher Creed. Remember that Tori Adams guy? Well, he's one of the guys who has an I beat up Chris Creed story. And after a few unfortunate events, combined with the fact that his name was in that letter, Tori becomes one of the main murder suspects in the Christopher Creed case. And Tori knows that he has absolutely nothing to do with Chris's disappearance, so he decides to do a little investigating of his own. He eventually gets his hands on Chris's diary and learns more about Chris than he ever expected. So, what do you think happened to Chris Creed? Do you think he committed suicide? Was he murdered? Or did he run away to get away from this life that he seemed to hate? You can form your own opinion by reading the Prince Honor Award book, The Body of Christopher Creed, by Carol Plum. Now this next book is part of a series, Pretty Little Liars series by Sarah Shepard. A lot of you may know this book, and this is the first book in the series. Sure, Allison was Allison. She was the shoulder to cry on, the only one you'd ever want calling up your crush to find out how he felt about you. The final word on whether your new jeans made your butt look big. But the girls were also afraid of her. Allie knew more about them than anyone else did, including the bad stuff they were just wanted to bury, just like a body. It was horrible to think Allie might be dead, but if she was, at least their secrets were safe. Beautiful, smart, funny, athletic. These were the words you would use to describe the girls from Rosewood Day School. Allison, Aria, Emily, Hannah, and Spitzer. They were the it girls. These 5 best friends did everything together until one day at the end of 7th grade when Allison disappeared. Rosewood, Pennsylvania was supposed to be one of the safest upper-class neighborhoods in the United States. So as you can imagine, the town was completely shocked by this event. Now, fast forward 3 years. The girls are beginning their junior year of high school, but Allison is still missing, and the rest of the girls have gone their separate ways. Each girl has her own different issue that she's dealing with, but unknowingly, they all have one thing in common. They all keep getting these mysterious messages. And the messages are clearly from someone who knows them very well, and who knows their secrets very well. But each message is just signed with a single A. So, what happened to Allie? And who else besides Allie knows these girls' secrets to be able to send them these messages? If you read Pretty Little Liars by Sarah Shepard, you'll find out. And if you like this book, you're going to love the other 7 books that are a part of the Pretty Little Liars series by Sarah Shepard. And if you've read all of these books, and you just can't seem to get enough of them, then check out the Pretty Little Liars TV series on ABC Family. Now, I've showed you 3 different mystery novels today, which you might find interesting. And if you've already read these books, or if these books sound like they're interesting to you, you might also want to check out Jellicoe Road by Melina Marchetta, The Golden Series by Michael Grant, and Paper Towns by John Green. Like the 3 I presented to you today, these novels are fast-paced and will keep you on the edge of your seat until the very end.